Alright, your Student Congress speech assignment. Right now, there are currently 3 pieces of legislation posted on MrKana.com that you can discuss advocating for or against. Now, you have to choose 2 out of those 3 pieces of legislation. Once you choose which 2 you want to talk about, these speeches can be in favor on both bills. It can be one in favor, one against. But the big thing is you cannot give both speeches on one piece of legislation. So, for example, you can't give a speech in favor of the CARP bill, and you can't give a speech that's against the CARP bill. You have to pick a side. You can only do one. Next, note that it's a really short speech. It's only 1 to 2 minutes long, and I expect that you be standing, and in that I can see gestures. Like right now, I am not standing, and I'm doing exactly what I'm expecting you not to do, which is sit in your chair and give a speech, because in Congress, you actually have to stand when you are speaking. So make sure that you have a place where you can film and record yourself where you are standing, and a place where I can see your gestures when you are discussing. You can present directly off of the outline, and I encourage you to use the outline so that way you have the format down. So it's a lot easier to say, I am in favor of this piece of legislation for the following 2 reasons, 1 and 2. When you start your speech, start with an attention getter. I do not want to hear the thesis that says, I'm in favor of reducing CARP. No, 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 no. Start with an attention getter. So the other day when I was home looking at Flex Learning and being bored, I decided that I needed to get out of the house and go fishing. So down to the James River I went. And then you can just discuss how you and your friend went fishing, and it was so much fun catching carp, and it'd even be more fun if you get paid to do that. The next thing is make sure that you include evidence. Each main point needs to have a piece of evidence within the speech. For that, and remember to cite sources. So on the CARP bill, you might be like, well, there isn't really much out there that talks about getting paid for CARP. True. You have to answer it through the backdoor method, which is something like, according to Amazon.com in 2020, a fishing lure cost 27 cents. That means with a 1-pound carp, I'd be able to get 2 fishing lures if I caught a 1-pound carp. Hopefully this explains a little bit more in detail about what you are expected to do. If you are struggling to find information on this piece of legislation, either one, check out the videos to give you some ideas of what major points you can have and go from there. And as a reminder, each main point needs to have at least 2 subpoints underneath of it. So if you go that carp are harming our environment, you need to tell me one. So like for point 1, carp's harming the environment, I would say A, stirs up the bottom sediment, and B, competes against game fish, and explain why that would be bad. Okay, I just can't say competes against game fish and leave it at that. I need to know how they're competing against game fish, what is a game fish, and why does that matter. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me about this assignment.